Madam President.
The senator from Connecticut.
Madam President, let me thank my colleagues for coming to the floor tonight to reinforce the opportunity that we have. I think we've gotten used to immigration being a perpetual political football in this country. It almost feels and seems unsolvable, that it's just a subject for campaign ads, for cable news shows, for fundraising emails. It doesn't have to be that way. We could choose to make progress. We could choose to pass legislation that treats migrants a little bit more humanely, that gives a pathway for individuals like those Afghan partners to be able to become United States citizens, and give the president updated powers at the border to make sure that we're doing immigration at the southwest border in a humane, orderly way. That is not impossible. In fact, it's more possible than ever before, because a group of senators sat in a room for 4 months in good faith and hashed out a compromise that involves a lot of Republican priorities, a lot of Democratic priorities, that's endorsed by the progressive-leaning immigration lawyers group and the conservative-leaning Border Patrol Union, that's endorsed by the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal. I know we're not used to finding common ground on immigration. It seems to happen only once a decade, but we found it. We found it. And I'm going to be reintroducing this bill because I believe that there's a chance Republicans will choose to do the right thing. I get it. The border being a mess is good politics for Republicans. I get it. Keeping this problem unsolved might provide an advantage for Republicans in this next election. But we don't go into this business to win elections, to just put our name on the door. Senator Lankford said it on this floor. He said every one of us is given a pen. Every one of us has a unique ability to make law to make the country better. What's the point, Senator Lankford said, of having this job if you're just going to do press conferences, if you're not going to actually engage in the hard work of compromise to make this country better and safer? That's what we did. Senator Lankford, Senator Sinema, myself, Senator Schumer, Senator McConnell, we sat in a room for 4.5 months. We forged a compromise that unquestionably will bring order to the southwest border. And because of that, Donald Trump is telling Republicans, ditch it, vote no. We don't want there to be order at the southwest border because that would be bad politics for us. What's the point of having this job if you aren't willing to make tough compromises that make this country better? And so I understand there may be long odds to convincing Republicans to change their vote. I understand that because this bill is a compromise, there will be some Democrats who will vote against it. But I think this is so important. I take Republicans at their word that it's an emergency to make sense of what's happening at the border, that it's worth it to bring this bill back before the floor. I hope our leadership will decide to schedule a vote on this bill. I will introduce the bill imminently, I think with many of my colleagues supporting it, and I'm deeply grateful to many of my friends in the Democratic caucus for underscoring the importance of bringing order to the southwest border, to investing in border security, to supporting our migrant communities as the bipartisan border security bill does. I yield the floor.